Hello and welcome to the Handicapable Black Woman Throne Room. My view of humanity is a whole new tea. Okay, royalty. Yeah, get some petty tea, get something to nibble on. I hope you are having a beautiful day. No matter what the weather is, try to find some sunshine within. Whew, but yeah, it's getting interesting out here. And I keep thinking that I'm going to finally do an episode about how politics are in everything. And yeah, that was one of the last episodes I uploaded. I have no idea what order I'm going to upload all of this, but yeah, my life is as messy as my channel. Yes, usually say my YouTube channel is as messy as my life. Either way, it's still true, the equal sign. But ooh, it's like it's like there is a series, like 2 or 3 episode series that I recorded almost 2 months ago. It's been 2 months, and I keep wanting to upload it, but it's buried. It's like buried in my computer, so I have to find it. But some people are gonna be offended by it. Some people already don't like me, but they're gonna not like me even more. They're gonna possibly hate me, and I don't care because this past weekend has already already proven my point of what I'm talking about. And okay, I created a series earlier, but then I realized some people are not going to believe me. Some people are going to think I'm making stuff up with join the club throughout my life. Like, why do you think it took 30 to 35 years for doctors to finally be like, huh, maybe she's not walking like that out of choice, stupid, no good, bum idiots? Or, yeah, well, basically, no, they're not bums. They make a lot of money, but they make a lot of money while not caring about patients and not thinking that people are telling the truth about their walking and the pain and just all of the awful treatment that they are going through. And you know what? Yeah, I need to probably take screenshots of what I'm going to be talking about because, yeah, people are probably not going to believe me. But okay, this past weekend, and oh, I'm not going to be taking nearly, there are so many things I should have been taking screenshots of, but now I have to literally empty my phone as quickly as possible because it is full. It is so full that yeah, I'm not even going to say, like, 'cause let's just say I'm working on it, but I have so much more evidence I need to get, and it's frustrating. And it's to a point where every day I empty some, but then it fills more and fill. So like I said this in one of my videos last week, one or probably a couple, that throughout this entire fall winter season, all I'm going to be doing is uploading things on Patreon. And the fun thing is, yeah, with all my evidence, you will be able to see all of it on Patreon because I'm petty and I'm tired of men blaming women or saying, and also people trying to blame black women for, well, you guys are the issue, you guys are the problem, and you guys this and that or whatever. But and especially people of color men, they think so low of us, and especially people of color men, a lot of them. Okay, and when I say this, you guys should already know I'm talking about the colonizer. And yes, people of color are not colonizers, but I've already talked about what I mean by, okay, maybe the haterade people of color. Okay, so yeah. So colonizers are, the white people who, and then the Underground Railroad white people, yeah, already covered. And so maybe I will call the haterade people of color. So now I'm going to be talking about the haterade, and I did a series about the haterade Middle Eastern men who they would ask me out to dinner and on dates and to sleep with them and to do a lot of, oh my gosh, it's like once I did part of, like, I can probably do about 40 to 60 episodes because it's really crazy how on dating apps, like certain demographic of men, the way they treat certain like especially black women, the way they treat us, and they think they can talk about us, and the things they can say about us, and or right after saying hi, hello, come over and sleep with me, I want to see you bend over, oh, send me pictures of your top up. And then I'll like, you have to be like, huh, this guy has the same woman in almost every picture in his dating profile. Oh, how's your wife doing? And then they're like, how did you know? And or you go out to dinner with the guy not knowing, but then you get to dinner, then you realize he is married because his phone goes off and he had it flipped up, like screen up. So then I see wife or something similar to wife or sweetheart or whatever. And I'm just like, why did you ask me out on a date when you are taken, you are married or engaged or in a serious relationship or whatever? And how come this past weekend, and I'm going to get to the main subject soon, but yeah, this I I just have to say this so often because it's really pathetic, but how come over 20 Middle Eastern men tried to match with me on, well, majority, I think like 16 of them were on Hinge, and then a couple of them were on Facebook dating. Yeah. And actually, it was over 20, but some of their first remarks, like we didn't even get to a full conversation because their first remark was, or one of them was, you have a large chest. I want my mouth, or I want them in my mouth. So I just blocked him. So we didn't even talk at all. And then another one was, darker the berry, the sweeter the juice. And I want you on my, you fill in the blank, you fill in the blank. Because yeah, if there's kids, yeah. Um, yeah, so let's just say with some of them, I didn't even reply. But, oh, Hinge? This pet, like it was like one after another, and actually there's like I'm not even counting the three today on a Monday. I'm not even counting the three today. And okay, you know what, I'm gonna read this one because okay, and it's a lot of them are young. A lot of them are acting like they didn't get that mommy son bonding time or whatever, or that they think older women are desperate. And so, like, because yeah, a lot of these young guys, I have a feeling I'm not going to talk about what I really want to talk about this week or this episode, but a lot of young guys think that millennial women should just, or Generation Z acts like Generation like Y just needs to jump up and down and be like, oh my gosh, I'm so happy. It's like I got a Generation Z guy talking to me. No. It's like, no, like, especially like educated women, we already know, like, okay, if our generation was screwed when it comes to the housing market and especially black women when it comes to jobs and opportunity and things like that, you guys are more screwed than we are. So why would we jump up and down when we're probably gonna need to help you? No, thank you. Like we have become as independent as possible, and we strive to do as much as we can. But now you no, you nah, like honey, you're looking for a sugar mom. That's what you want. That's what you want. Because, okay, for the one for today, I mean, this is fresh off like 3:05 p.m. And right now it is 3:29. So this is like hot off the press. He liked my photo. And so I was curious because in that, like one of the only reasons I write back is I'm curious on, why did you write me? And most of the men are like, oh, I want to sleep with you in different ways. And like they all don't say it like that, but like some of them are so provocative. I can't read unless, like, if you guys pause it and tell your kids to leave out the room. But at the same time, like once I'm finally able to get all of these up on Patreon, you'll be able to see there. But at the same time, there's already over 500 photos of racism, sexism, dating nightmares. And do you know how many white men with Confederate flags or colonizers with Confederate flags try to match with me on dating apps? Yeah, those are on Patreon too. But and yeah, I've been talking a lot more about my Patreon lately because like I mean I had some uploaded about a month ago, but I was trying to work on the novel and the greeting cards and the candles and try like with physical therapy and different parts of my life trying to get that stuff together while not realizing how full everything was. So now that's why now I'm like, okay, just dump, like just put everything out there as much as I can, as quickly as I can. But okay, here's here's what happened this afternoon. Remember, it's 3:31 p.m. This okay, he matched around, oh no, he tried to match with me at 11:22 a.m. I didn't notice it until like right after 3. So at 3:05 p.m., I wrote, "You must be bored." That's what I write a lot because most of these, especially the Middle Eastern men, they're bored. They're not interested in me. They just try to sleep with me. That's the only reason. That's the only, like, if you don't believe me, look at my screenshots and you will see the pattern. Yeah, there was even I don't know when I'm gonna get up to downloading this picture, but about 2 years ago, it was Middle Eastern American Month, and the guy literally told me that for Middle Eastern American Month, I had to sleep with him because he said to, because since it is his month now, that I should be willing to do what he wants. Yeah, yeah. So, but you'll see that screenshot at one point. I don't know when, but okay. So I replied, "You must be bored." And then he says, "I sure am." So many of them are bored, and it's like, get a hobby. Like, and I think I've already done an episode on this, but where I was planning on, like, because I know I've done a couple dating wise of how to do entertaining things that are just not dinner and a movie. But also, I guess I need to, like, if you're bored, don't get on a dating app. Dating apps are not for when you're bored. It's when you're willing to and able to date, or even like if it's a one night stand, at least have some thought into it. It's like sleeping with people, it should not just because you're bored. It's like I don't it's like the the depth that people don't have anymore. They're just so ignorant and awful and terrible and stupid and just, and some of them they'll sleep with you like they don't even care. They won't even ask, "Are you clean?" or STD or when have you been tested or anything. I don't know. I'm just like, you guys are idiots. You're stupid. You're just. But then they keep trying to like literally like around 20, a little over 20 Middle Eastern men alone. Okay, there was some that were white and black or whatever, but when it comes to just the Middle Eastern demographic, over 20 Friday through Sunday, and I'm talking about like Friday night through Sunday, because yeah, right after 5 o'clock, that's when they started coming, like bing, bing, bing on my phone, and I'm like, what in the world? So okay, sorry, it's like I guess I'm just like with that series, I guess I'm now at least, I'm not happy. It's because I think it's disgusting, but like getting all of these screenshots, all of this proof, and I'm not screenshotting all of them because like some of them I'm just like, you know what, if you're bored, just find someone else because I am not here for boredom. And so if someone tells me I have to, yeah, just kind of like that jerk from like CK from his debates or whatever. If you don't have proof, I don't believe you. Wow, wow. Like I like that, like with his ignorance and stupidity, but then a lot of colonizers, they use that now that they're just like, if you don't have proof of the racism, I don't believe you. And so now there's probably going to be people because especially on dating apps, some people are like, because I post the screenshots of the racism from or even the sexism, because yeah, some of the black men who are like, why are you stupid enough to get a degree? Oh, so you have a degree but you want a man to have a degree? No, you have the degree, that should be enough. Yeah, I post their stupidity too. That was from a black man. Yeah. But okay, yeah, sorry, I'll get okay, let me just go on and read this and then I can vent. But okay, let me go back. I say, you must be bored. I sure am. Also stressed. Lot of work recently. And then I say, I hope you find it, dot, dot, dot. And find what, question mark. Whatever you're after. And then he says, I wish I know what I am after, but thanks. And so I say, so you wrote me for what reason, question mark. He says, I found you hot and I am weirdly attracted to older women. Sorry if I offended you. So I write dot dot dot. So you wrote me because question mark dot dot dot. And then he writes, I would like to go out with you sometime. And so I'm gonna see, this is gonna be kind of live because now I'm gonna message. So what would you plan on doing? Or what would you like us to do? So, what would you like us to do? And we're going to see if he answers during this episode. But, and also, okay, this guy is 27, research engineer, Hindu, not political, but see, it's like on Hinge, I talk about my politics. I talk about the importance of politics to me. And I even ask, why would anyone ever even vote for the orange man and stuff like that? And so sometimes when I see guys who are not political, and it's just like, you think I'm gonna wanna, like, but they don't want to date. They just, so we're gonna wait to see what he says. Oh, and it's like, yeah, he don't want children either. And see, it's just like, so men really don't like, cause yeah, he doesn't want to date me. He just wants to use me. But it's like, men don't care what's on our profiles, because when I see a guy say that they don't want any children, even if everything else lines up, and yeah, like some men are, or some people are like, oh, but you're old, but you're like, you shouldn't want kids anymore. I still want to adopt and or foster. And now that I'm not going to like really date or marry anymore, is like, once I get my businesses together, if I can save enough, I will go to the male specimen unit and then I will have babies that way. I will have kids that way. It's like, as long as, like, first I'll make sure that I'm healthy and safe, especially with my disability. I have to be careful, but it's like, I, yeah, let's just say not everybody's life has to be cookie cutter. And I know, I say, yeah, Candace Owens said some horrible, horrific things about women or couples that do it in other ways. And later on, she tried to ask for forgiveness, or she tried to, like, chase her tail with that, whatever. But she also talked about or put down disabled models, and that's, who wants to see that? So yeah, oh, that woman is such an awful disgrace to him, like, just disgusting, because like, she has put down almost every part of my identity with her full chest. And so many people that follow her, like, because yeah, people would say, you're taking her out of context, just like with CK. But just like with like, if you met my ex's Mr. No Heart's family, they followed both of them. And they would even say, you only went to gone to college because you're black. Oh, like, the only reason you got your education because you're black. You don't really deserve it. Or, oh, are you sure that the professor didn't treat you differently? And I'm like, it was virtual. They didn't even know what I looked like. And so then they would have to backtrack, and then they try to like watch the episode when the mom partnered up with like some of her children to give me a boggle test. If she can get through this level of boggle, then maybe she's smart enough to have gone to college and finish and be successful or whatever. Or maybe she deserved her degrees. That, like, stupid people like that really, just really, oh. But when, like, the treatment that people put on black women, especially when it comes to dating, the low expectations where they think that we're only to be used. And then even with Mr. No Heart, he says that he was a Democrat or whatever, but it's like I caught him so many different, like, sometimes I'm just like, you're not a Democrat. And sometimes people are like, oh, I never said I was, but I'm like, yes, you did. And then I would have to remind him. And he's like, oh, well, like, yeah, well, yeah, I'm a Democrat at heart, but I think I'm more of a moderate. It's like, no, so you lied. Because, like, when we first, like, I go over all of that when I first date a guy. And with him, he lied in so many different, like, because even with adopting and fostering, oh yeah, that's cool. That means you have a big heart. I love that about you. He was like, or I dig that. Like, well, he didn't know. He didn't say love, but he said that it was like, I really adore or like that about you. It's like, you're the type of woman that I could trust with my kids one day, I think, blah blah. Like, he was saying all types of crap. But then once I became his girlfriend for 3 years, then he told me, I will not let you adopt or foster, or it's over, or I'm breaking up with you. Right when he knew my walking was getting worse and was more painful. So, but I think okay, no, he didn't respond yet. So, but yeah. It's just really interesting how a lot of men see black women, and when it comes to dating, a lot of them act like we're not worth even the dating. Like, we are only worth the the lust level, the lowest level of compatibility ever. And they think black women can't be smart, or like, or have goals or dreams, or that we can't work in corporate America, and or that we have authentic emotions that leave, or are that are not involved in the bedroom, and or we are more than just a fantasy, and or we are more like, they want our figures, like, because now, like, with big behinds and chests and things like that, a lot being very curvy, black women are known for that. And so now a lot of women are paying for that and this and that or whatever. And then with black women, well, like, as long as we take care of ourselves, like, age wise, our skin stays pretty nice and tight or whatever. And but now it's like, you like, there's Botox and all these surgeries and procedures or whatever. And so other demographics do all of this, and men run to them, but then, or stay with them, but then they lust at us, and they expect us to cater to their needs, or their 5 to 15-minute needs. But then they get mad at us when we deny them or tell them no, or say that we're worth more. Because I've even had Middle Eastern men tell me that I'm not worth more, or that I'm a joke, or that's why no man's ever going to want you. Because, okay, one of them literally told me that maybe if you sleep with me, I'll see if you are deserving of me to take you out to dinner or a trip to the Bahamas. If you do a good enough job, maybe I'll take you on a trip with me. Yeah, his name was Muhammad, but I've met a lot of Muhammads. So at least this way, no one's gonna know which one I'm talking about, because there are so many of them. And if that Muhammad one day listens to this video, yes, one day I am gonna tell the whole story, and all of the awful things, or sexist, racist things you said about black women, or how, since black women went through slavery and stuff, that we should be used to being submissive to men, and that we should be the best at it. So that's why with me getting my education, it was dumb because I should do what I'm naturally raised to do, or I should do what my culture is naturally supposed to do. Yeah, I will never forget. Yeah, let's just say that started a very heated argument, and we were at a restaurant too. Hmm. Because he hated that I disagreed with him. He hated that I put him in his place, and he hated that I had to tell him about the history and how the only reason his family came to America. You're going to hear me say this a lot because I've heard a lot of people tell me how, like, when their family came to America, and or they even admit that they waited until African Americans made it safe for them to come over here. But they want to treat us like crap. They want to treat us like crap. But our ancestors are the reasons why they were able to come over here and be able to pursue their goals and dreams and things like that. But then they think so low of us that when it comes to college and everything, they're like, no, we're smarter than you. We're better than you. You don't deserve this. And they partner up with the colonizing bullies, and then even when it comes to dating, black women are swiped left the most because they think so low of us. They think we're only worth the lust. They think we're only worth them like treating us like garbage, basically. They think that we should just like, and that's the thing, it's just so annoying and frustrating. But the bad news is some people are going to say, oh, you must be like racist against the Middle Eastern. No, I'm not. And that's the funny thing. It's like it's like back like and it's frustrating because in college I had so many friends that are Middle Eastern, and I still like I kind of talk to some now, but there were a few situations where I learned I can't trust them either, because especially when I apply for certain jobs and things like that, and I find out they're the HR person, and it's like they it's like they forget that since this is a marketing position or advertising position, that means I have a degree, or so, like my minor was in business, but then I like this was before I got my MBA. So I know about illegal questions or illegal activity. If you are the HR person and you see that I applied for a job, why are you emailing me and asking me, did you really get your education here? Because they didn't know about my master's and they didn't know about my certifications and some of the other things. So then they write me privately, not through the company, not for the company, but because they're just trying to be nosy. And then they're like, oh, well, I'm sure you're like, why would you want to work here? You'll find a better job. It's like, and then I find out they gave it to one of their friends. But they wrote me to be nosy. They wrote me just because, like, oh my gosh, I can't believe you did all of this. That's really it's like, and they were like, oh, did your sister help you at all? Why would my sister? She didn't even major in like business or English or anthropology. Like, what are you talking like? And see, that's one thing that really irked me is when people try to like tell me that the only way that because I have a perfect sister and everything. And the thing is, I love that about her. She is talented, amazing, brilliant, smart. Like she is an achiever of high degree and stuff. And my mother said I would never measure up to be her. And it was tough, but I finally accepted that because she is right. I will never. But when it comes to dating, even, I'm never going to be enough. And I will, like, that one jerk, if you look, or if you watch the episode, he calls me a leftover. And you know what? I left the table. I left the table. I won't be an entree anymore because men just want to use me and they want to treat me like garbage. And I will not accept that anymore. It's like I've had enough. I am a human being. And yes, I'm never going to be as good as my perfect sister, but at the same time, I want to be the person I want to be. I was born to be, that I've dreamt of being. Thank you so much for listening to the Handy Capable Black Woman Throne Room. I am a woman, I am of color, and I am handy capable. But most importantly, I am human and you're human too.